Alright folks, we're back. Let's get to case 39. Thanks to Ali, Bruna, and Saddam. Kicking the bucket.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything.
We're in South Africa today. Matthew, there's not a second to lose. Thanks to Michelle and Elliot, we know that Prince Abiyoyi of Mazunda is being targeted for assassination by Sombra. All our efforts to contact Prince Abiyoyi and warn him have failed, but Elliot's discovered that he's still alive and well, and that he's due to give a talk in a nearby village in just moments. And you want us to go there? How can we do anything knowing that there's a mole in the team? Because we still have people to protect. It's imperative that we get to the prince before anyone can harm him. Matthew will also be taking Michelle with you. She knows Sombra better than anyone. She'll be able to identify any threats. Yeah, unless Michelle kills the prince herself. She's a Sombra agent after all. This is not the time for you to question my authority, Archer. Grab Michelle and head to the Zulu village, now.
Queen of the South, tomorrow at 10 on USA.
I'm telling you, you're wrong. It's not you.
Let's try for the first star.
Oh my God, her mother left her when she was 2. Drugs. She's with her friends.
Oh no.
She forgets to call me.
Anybody you know who doesn't like your dog?
Oh, everybody likes her. She's it's a problem.
Why is that a problem?
Stiff.
Well, when she turned 13, she started getting into hip-hop and black guys. No offense. I didn't like it.
There we are.
But I didn't want to fight with her because I don't want to run off like a mother. I told her that as long as she kept her grades up, I didn't care who she was.
What do you know? I'm the first one to attack this.
Are you ready, Mr. Donovan?
What the heck, Matthew? This girl looks like she's been fished out of that well. And you're right. This was no accident. Her hands and feet have been tied up. We've got another murder on our hands. And this is no ordinary murder. I recognize this girl, Matthew. Her name's Kayla Pieters, and she's a Sombra assassin. This girl was a Sombra assassin? So this Kayla must have been here to assassinate the prince. Looks like somebody got to her first. Which means that the immediate threat to the prince's life is over. Speaking of the prince, I can't see him anywhere. Can you, Matthew? Don't worry, Michelle. We'll take it from here. I'm sure Matthew's already picked up some great clues to help us make sense of this murder. Like this bucket. Matthew's right. If our victim was drowned in the well, this bucket could be a vital clue. I'll grab your Justin kit. And this torn paper could shed some light on whatever took place here. Let's tape it up.
You know, these guys are the greatest athletes in the world. You sound like a man.
And I'm going to get some stars, so sit tight, folks.
Get out of here, that's not you.
Okay. I think I'll take the torn photo first.
She's putting her when you step closer.
You don't have anything, you take what you can get.
Visiting time is over.
I'll tell you what happened. We let her go.
You talk, she walks out of here tonight.
7. The girl in this photo is clearly our victim. But who's the guy she's cozy with? Let's look for this man in the database.
That's my baby. He's looking after his mama.
This one. Kind of looks a bit like Jonah, doesn't he? Obviously he's not. Voila! 9 energy. Quanele Mthembu.
Tried to marry the second.
The guy in the photo with our victim is Quanele Mthembu. He's a local who grew up in Soweto, Johannesburg. You're right, Matthew. Perhaps this Quanele could shed some light on our Sombra assassin's background. But we better stay vigilant. Quanele might also have ties to Sombra. Let's inform him of Kayla's death. Let's inform him. Mr. Mthembu, we're sorry to inform you that Kayla Pieterse has been murdered.
People have no objections.
We take it you were close? Kayla's dead? She can't be. I've known her my whole life. She can't be gone. How did you two meet? My parents worked at the orphanage where Kayla was raised. We were inseparable. We said we'd always be best friends, but once we got older, we became more than just that. So you and Kayla were a couple? Yes, though it wasn't always easy. You know how it is. People change as they grow up. Kayla disappeared for a few months one time, said she was taking some time to work on herself. When she returned, she was suddenly more sophisticated and smarter too. Kayla became president of the National Yacht Club at just 24. I was so proud. She had an extraordinary life. Thanks for your help, Mr. Mthembu. Ranger Matthew may have more questions later. Well, Kayla fits the Sombra stereotype. An orphan who disappeared for several months. It's Sombra Recruitment 101. But if Quanele knew about Kayla's ties to Sombra, he wasn't letting on. Good thinking, Matthew. Quanele said Kayla was head of the National Yacht Club. We might discover more at the club's headquarters. Let's go.
Want to head down to Rikers and talk with Jaden?
What's the point? He's doing a life sentence for his brother.
I'm gonna take the bucket first.
Gotta find Ezra myself. I'm two brothers from Brooklyn wear hats with the letter C on them.
Maybe it's a gang thing.
You know, if you're right, then Ezra's hanging out with his homies. Who's on the safety?
They're representing with a C. If they were Crips, they wouldn't wear anything.
Thembastille something. Wait, this bucket has a name on it? Thembastille Indolovu.
You see that?
This Thembastille must be one of the villagers. Let's go ask them about the murder.
Small, very well organized, almost impossible.
Yeah, we got a couple of members we want to run by. Jaden and Ezra O'Donnell.
And let's ask her about the murder.
Yeah.
Miss Indolovu, Ranger Matthews here to ask you. It's about the murder, isn't it? The only reason I didn't call the police is because I panicked. I didn't know what to do. So you fished Kayla out of the well? Yes. When I came to get water this morning, my bucket caught on something. I thought an animal had got trapped, but when we pulled it out, it wasn't an animal. It was a girl.
This is Lion King country.
You must have had quite the shock, Miss Indolovu. Please take some time to recover. Ranger Matthew will speak to you later.
Come on, Francis, man. Gangbanging Picasso?
Let me expressing yourself in Rikers. You don't tell us where he is.
You hang out here, man. You got out before the beat.
What beef?
Yo, I can get shot for talking.
Jackie didn't shoot you for reaching up under your shirt. Speak.
Okay.
Max started recruiting Rikers Island about 5 months ago. Called Corner Hustlers. Yeah, red hat with the C. What's their thing?
What's Jimmy Man's
Okay. Let's see here.
Jimmy Max,
Satchel.
a.k.a. James McDonald. Real scumbag.
Blowfish.
Assault.
Lion statue.
Peter Fender, he catches
Golden boat.
He's going away for life. McDonald's the leader of the Corner Hustlers. Could have ordered an initiation, remember?
There we are, shoe. Third.
Before.
Jumping a turnstile at the station right by the park where we found Julie's body. He posted bail an hour.
He should be getting to the Queensboro Plaza any minute.
Let's go. Corrections, dumb Julie's off here like it's a school bus.
Hell of a place to start over. Hands up.
Check out this yacht club, Matthew. I can just picture myself on a yacht. Cocktail in hand, a sol bite. I guess that'll never happen. And you're right, we're here to look for clues. You found a trophy? Good thinking. If Kayla was president, she must have been responsible for these trophies. The name on it is illegible, though. You'd better decipher it. And the victim's satchel is sure to give us a lead. Let's rummage through it. Okay. Please, case 39. Yes, it is. And I'm gonna get some sources to type. Okay, I got up to 7. Let's examine the yachting trophy. JGI LB the RT. Jay Gilbert. So this yachting trophy was given to a Jay Gilbert. I'll look him up. Jay Gilbert seems to be a guy called Jacob Gilbert. He's the grandson of one of South Africa's richest men and something of a local celebrity. He posts on something called Rich Kids of Instapic. It's mostly pictures of him partying on his yacht, a bottle of champagne in each hand. Tough life. Come on, let's go ask Jacob if he met the victim when he got his trophy. Maybe he'll take us out on his yacht.
Why? Boy's the leader of your gang. Why would you want to whack him? Jay made me unenjoying corner hustling.
If he knew the victim.
Jay matched from the same projects.
Excuse me, Mr. Gilbert. We like a quick word. Sorry, how did you get in here? This club is members only, and you don't look like you can afford the membership fee. No offense, brute. We're police officers. We found Kayla Pieters murdered, and we want answers. Did you know her? Murdered? Dreadful. I might have met her, I might not. When you're as well connected as me, you're always surrounded by people. My therapist says I do it intentionally to compensate for the loss of my parents, but what does she know? Anyway, I got places to go and people to see, Ranger Matthew. You know where to find me. I cannot believe how pretentious Jacob was, Matthew. Who wears sunglasses indoors? And did you see all that cleavage he had on show? What do you mean Jacob and I look similar, Matthew? We don't. I just like to uphold the law in style, that's all. Right. Right. And John Lennon had a great time divorcing Yoko Ono. A note. There was a note in the victim's satchel, Matthew? Great. Except I can't understand a word. Guess we gotta send the note to Monsieur. I speak every language under the sun, DuPont. That's a nice way to put it.
What more do you want? Jaden and Ezra had too much.
9 hours. Alright, I'll see you guys when both of these are done.
Because he's a psychopath.
Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the note first from DuPont. Hello, Matthew, or should I say, gooey dog? Just tell us what the note Matthew found in the victim's satchel said. Firstly, I should specify that the note is written in one of South Africa's 11 official languages. Most ashamedly, I must admit that I can only speak 7. Don't tell us you couldn't decipher the note. Please, Monsieur Archer, the note is written in Afrikaans, which is descended from Dutch, and I am, of course, fluent in Dutch. The note says, let's meet at the well at midnight. At the well? It must be referring to the well our victim drowned in. Which means the killer lured our victim to her death with this note. So our killer speaks Afrikaans. They'll be tongue-tied once you caught them, Matthew. Really, Afrikaans, either one works. Of course, in response to pitching Ace 88. Matthew, every time I think the bodies of young people have stopped piling up on my slab, you send me another one. I don't feel too bad about the murder of an assassin, Angela. If Kayla wasn't dead, the prince would be. It's easy to judge the dead, Jack. They can hardly defend themselves. Just tell us what you found. The autopsy confirmed that the cause of death was drowning. prior to being lowered into the well, she was knocked out and tied up by her attacker. But that's where your killer slipped up, Matthew, because I found traces of milk turd between the victim's skin and the rope. Milk turd? Great. And what's milk turd exactly? Monsieur Archer, one need hardly be a language expert like myself to realize that milk turd translates into milk tart. Milk tart is a local dessert made from milk, flour, sugar, and eggs. C'est délicieux. So our killer eats milk tart. They'll be getting their just desserts once you've caught them, Matthew. Matthew, I still can't believe Ripley made us take Michelle to the village. How can we trust an ex-Sombra operative when we don't even know who to trust in the Bureau? You're right, though. Michelle came in useful by identifying our victim as a Sombra assassin, and that fits with our theory that Sombra intends to kill the prince. But that's where it all falls to pieces. Somebody presumably got to Kayla before she could get to the prince, who never showed up at the village. Perhaps he got wind of the assassination attempt and stayed away. Or perhaps Prince Abiyoi was involved in the murder. For all we know, he might have acted in self-defense. Man, we're never going to be able to solve this murder without talking to the prince, but we've no idea where he is. Speak for yourself. I know exactly where Prince Abiyoi's hiding. You know where the prince is? We'll start chapter 2 after this. Alright folks, it is Matthew, we're back. Let's start chapter 2 of Kicking the Bucket. Let's recap, Matthew. We've got a dead Sombra assassin who was drowned before she could carry out her mission. Thanks to her boyfriend, we know that the victim had reintegrated into society and established a high-flying career. It makes sense that Sombra would want their recruits mingling with the rich and famous, like Jacob, I'm better than you, Gilbert. But we won't be able to solve this murder without asking Kayla's intended target, Prince Abiyoi, why Sombra's after him, and we have no idea where he is. Speak for yourself, Matthew. I hacked into the local surveillance camera network, and I got the exact coordinates of the street where Prince Abiyoi just showed up in Soweto. The prince is in Soweto? Matthew, we need to go find him, quick! That's a nice photo right there. Aha! I think I see a clue at least. Torn painting. Wheelbarrow. Oh, that's the other clue. Rainbow. Skateboard. Alright, handgun. 3 clues we found. Man, we must have missed him. I can't see the prince anywhere. And this gun isn't a good sign. We know Sombra's after the prince. What if they got to him? Well, let's collect a sample of that substance on the gun's handle, quick. You also found a torn painting? The only way we'll know what it shows is by taping it up. And I don't know what you expect to find in that wheelbarrow, but I'm not about to get dirt under my fingernails. It's all yours, Matthew. I think this might be number 2. Let me at least get the first star, so sit tight. Okay, I at least got the first star. Let's examine the handgun right now. I think this might be analysis waiting. Good, 9. You've collected a sample of that substance from the handgun, Matthew. If we're lucky, it'll give us a lead on whoever's after the prince. Let's get it to Lars ASAP. $12 hours. Get the results tomorrow morning. And let's examine the wheelbarrow. Another 9. Rope. There was a bit of rope in that wheelbarrow, Matthew. I'm not sure what you think we'll learn from it, but if you want to send it to Lars, go ahead. So we'll have 2 6 hours and torn painting. This painting looks familiar. It's the village where our victim was killed. And well spotted. The dedication reads, "For Kayla," and it was signed by Thembacile. Thembacile never mentioned she knew the victim when we spoke to her. I reckon it's time for another chat. About the painting? Thembacile, Ranger Matthew found this painting you gave Kayla. You never mentioned you knew her. I'm sorry, Ranger Matthew, I was so flustered, seeing the poor girl like that. We became friends recently. I'd seen her hanging around the village, observing what was going on. So I approached her. I'm always happy to share Zulu culture with anyone eager to learn. And Kayla was definitely eager. She had tons of questions about Zulu life, the comings and goings in the village. She brought me a milk shirt as a thank you for my help, and in exchange I gave her this painting. Thembacile, we believe that Kayla's intentions weren't so innocent. She was planning a murder in the village and was likely using you to gain insider info. Plotting a murder? What a fool I was, trusting her like that. Now I understand how she ended up dead. No evil deed goes unpunished. Let's just hope you didn't decide to punish her for yourself, Thembacile. She doesn't know Afrikaans, so she's cleared for now. Alright, I'll see you guys when these two are done. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. This is the results of the cleared substance. Hey Matthew, here's what I found out about the substance on the gun. Dude, you're not even going to offer us a knock-knock joke first? It hardly feels appropriate. Everyone's so on edge knowing there's a mole on the team. The only one holding up okay is DuPont. Not that I'm implying it's suspicious, but it's hard on everyone, bro. I still can't believe any of our friends would betray us. At least I know I can trust you and Matthew. And as you still have a case to solve, Matthew, I can tell you that the substance on the gun was sweat from a Willem Nieuwoud. Elliot looked him up, and it turns out Willem is Prince Abioi's bodyguard. Phew! So the gun didn't belong to a Sombra agent. And you're right, Matthew. Willem might still be in Soweto. Let's go ask him about Prince Abioi, quick. Good dog, Ranger. How can I help you? Mr. Nieuwoud, Ranger Matthew and I work for the Bureau. We're looking for Prince Abioi. We believe he narrowly escaped an attempt on his life, and while his would-be assassin is no longer a threat, we desperately need to talk to him. Where is he? An attempt on his life? Then the situation is even worse than I thought. I turned my back for a few moments to buy a milk shirt, and the prince ran off. I don't know where he is. What? Why would he run away from his own bodyguard? Beats me, and what's worse is that I lost the device I was using to track him. But if I know the prince, I bet he's gone to the yacht club. I've got to head there to look for him. Matthew, what kind of bodyguard loses the person they're supposed to protect? I don't trust this Willem. If the prince is at the yacht club, we better go look for him. Dude, what did you find out about the rope Matthew found in Soweto? Under close inspection, I discovered minute traces of milk turd on the rope. That gave me a hunch, so I took a look at the rope used to tie up your victim. And this rope you found and the one used to tie up Kayla are the same. What's particular about this type of rope is that it's used on sailing yachts, most commonly as an anchor line. So our killer goes yachting. High five. Wait, why do you seem so bummed out, bro? I'm sure it's nothing. Come on, dude, we're among friends. What's bothering you? I just don't know how Angela could have failed to notice that the victim was bound with yacht rope. She's normally so thorough. Everyone's been distracted lately, bro. We're all worried about there being a mole in the team, but Angela would never do anything to hinder us. You're right, Angela just probably needs a break. I'm glad that's cleared up, and now we know our killer goes yachting. That's another black mark against Jacob, Matthew. But he doesn't fit the other two criteria, unfortunately. Sorry to burst your bubble, Archer. To watch Turtle. Ugh. Boy, that is such an old-fashioned phone. Tenth. So much for Prince Abioi being here. He's nowhere to be seen. But you picked up a digital watch, Matthew? I wonder if this is the tracking device Willem mentioned. Let's unlock it and find out. And check out this piece of paper. Not only is it addressed to our victim, it also has a key on it. You'd better recover the writing. I'm going to take care of everything right now. Oh no. C4T. FL8. GO6. Well, one mishap cost me 9 energy, but that's okay. Excuse me. Well done decoding that watch, Matthew. It definitely looks like the tracking device the Prince's bodyguard told us about. Let's see what Elliot makes of it. Uh-oh. Sorry folks, it white screened on me. Appears to be from Quanelle. Here's your key, I never want to see you again. So the note addressed to our victim says, here's your key, I never want to see you again. And it was signed by Quanelle, the victim's childhood sweetheart. He said things were difficult with Kayla, but he never said they were over. We need another chat with Quanelle. About his breakup? Quanelle, Ranger Matthew found this note you left Kayla. You failed to tell us you'd broken up. Of course she left that lying around. Well, it's like I told you, Kayla's career started taking its toll on our relationship. I resented her wanting to change me to suit her new lifestyle. She was constantly berating me for preferring milk turk to caviar. and she even insisted I learn Afrikaans so I could make conversation with her new friends. And she wasn't even around half the time. Just a week ago, she ditched me to go to some island with no explanation. You can't build a relationship on that, Ranger Matthew. So when she returned 2 days ago, I told her I just didn't feel the same about her since she changed. She might have been happy to forget her roots, but I wasn't. Well, let's hope you didn't forget all sense of reason and kill Kayla, because if you did, Ranger Matthew will find out. So Kayla left for some island a week ago and only returned 2 days ago. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Matthew? Kayla must have been on that Sombra island. We may not know how many assassins came to Africa, Matthew, but at least now there's one less loaded gun roaming around. Another coins. I want to get as much cards as I can so I can stay above the threshold. As you can see, I'm at 39,608. I did have a couple thousand more energy than that, but I have used it on some elite mode cases, and I am trying to buy some burgers for the daily deals if they offer it, or even the complete meals. But anyway, I'll see you guys when the GPS watch has run its course. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the GPS watch now. So is Matthew right, Elliot? Is this watch the device the bodyguard was using to track Prince Abiyoe? It sure is, Matthew. The watch is linked to a similar device carried by the prince, which allowed me to pinpoint his exact location. You'll find Prince Abiyoe at the Zulu village. So Prince Abiyoe showed up at the village after all. We're finally going to be able to ask him why Sombra wants him dead. Let's go, Matthew. Why Sombra is after him? Your Highness, we're from the Bureau. We're here to warn you that you scarcely avoided an attempt on your life. What? An assassination attempt? I thought I'd be safe here. I've been keeping a low profile, learning Afrikaans to blend in. If you can just tell us why a criminal organization wants you dead. I have no idea, but I can't stay. I have to hide. Your Highness, wait up. We can help. Darn it, Matthew. We spent so long trying to find the prince only for him to run off. Let's hope we can corner him before Sombra makes another move. This case is turning into a disaster, Matthew. We're still no closer to figuring out who killed Kayla. But we do know that everything seems to revolve around this yacht club. Not only did the victim work here, we also know that our killer goes yachting. Could this murder be linked to our victim's public life rather than her Sombra secret? And speaking of secrets, what's the deal with Prince Abiyoe? I can't believe he ran away from us. It's hard to imagine he's innocent when he won't talk. I resent that accusation, Ranger Matthew. Your Highness, I told you to stay behind me. It's not Oh my. Willem? Willem! Holy God. Alright, I'll see you guys for Chapter 3. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start Chapter 3. This is a disaster, Matthew. We're still no closer to figuring out who killed our Sombra assassin. If only Prince Abiyoe had told us why Sombra is after him. It's hard to believe he's innocent when he won't talk. I resent that accusation, Ranger Matthew. Your Highness, I told you to stay out of sight. It's not What? Willem? Willem! Your Highness, take cover!
Saluting the 5 brave officers who lost their lives protecting others.
Darn it, the shooter made a run for it. I couldn't catch them. I'll go after them. Don't be silly, Willem. An ambulance is on its way for you. Don't worry about me. I can still protect you, Your Highness. Ranger Matthew is right, Willem. You need to go to the hospital. And as for you, Your Highness, you're clearly not safe here. We're taking you back to the Bureau. Matthew, we've got Prince Abiyoe in protective custody and Willem is being treated at a local hospital. He's expected to make a full recovery. We assumed that the immediate threat to the prince's life was over after Kayla was murdered, but this shooting confirms that someone else is now after him. The question is, has Sombra sent a second assassin, or does somebody else want the prince dead? And how does this tie in with Kayla's murder? This would be much easier to figure out if we knew Sombra's motivations for targeting the prince, but His Highness is still refusing to talk. Oh, good idea, Matthew. If we can't convince Prince Abiyoi that we're on his side, maybe we could persuade Willem. Let's see if he'll be able to talk to us. If he's able to talk to us.
May have assisted him.
And police say Johnson also injured 9 people in the attack here, including 7 police officers. And tonight we're told they are all...
Willem, Ranger Matthew has some urgent questions. We need to know why Sombra is targeting Prince Abiyoi so we can figure out how to stop them. I'm afraid I can't help you, Ranger Matthew. I work on a strictly need-to-know basis. Anything more would distract me from my main task, protecting the prince. And we've seen that you'd go as far as taking a bullet to protect him. How far does that dedication stretch? As far as killing a potential threat? If it came to that, yes. Did you do it then? Kayla Pieters was killed just hours before she was due to assassinate the prince. Were you just doing your job? I don't know anything about the girl, Ranger Matthew, except that I'm glad she's dead. One less assassin to protect the prince from his good news, as far as I'm concerned. Well, let's just hope it won't be bad news for you when Ranger Matthew finishes narrowing down the suspect list. Matthew, we need new leads, and fast. We still got a murder to solve, and there's a gun-toting maniac with a grudge against the prince roaming around. Could the same person be responsible for both Kayla's murder and the shooting? You're right, Matthew. It's too late to go after the shooter, but at least you know that the killer went to Soweto to get rid of evidence. We might find a new lead there. If we're to thwart Sombra's plans, there's no time to waste. Let's head to Soweto.
He also says there's racism here, but says the Aloha spirit shines through. With all due respect, those that don't appreciate police officers or don't agree with what we do, they have every right to their opinion, good, bad, or otherwise. But we as officers, we just don't continue to be courageous and get out there and do what's best for the majority.
While Paula sent Shopo's condolences to Dallas police, the spirit of Aloha echoed by Honolulu Police Chief Louis K. Aloha, who released a statement extending the department's support to Dallas PD. The statement goes on to say, quote, "In the midst of these difficult times, I want to remind our officers to be safe in everything that they do."
ID card.
Since its beginning, 14 Honolulu police officers have died from gunfire, according to the Officer Down memorial page. Brenton Owa, KITV Island News.
And Somali police officers will begin testing out body cameras while out on patrol. The department says it's part of a month-long study that starts today. The officers will be wearing cameras supplied by various vendors. Results from the study will help MPD
11th.
implement the technology. Kauai police officers have already begun to wear body cameras.
Disturbing story out of Maui tonight. A high school senior's been saved, but being sexually assaulted landed her alleged attacker in jail 4 years after the incident took place.
You found our victim's ID card, Matthew, and look, there's some kind of substance on it. I'll let you collect a sample. You also grabbed some weird-looking necklace thing. Well spotted. The locket opens up. That's odd. The locket contains some kind of powder. If you think it's worth investigating, I'll grab your vacuuming kit. We might not know if Kayla's killer is also our shooter, but I'm sure these clues will give us a lead. Let's do this.
In a school essay, which teachers then brought to police. Tonight, Kauai police have identified the woman killed in a single car crash in Lafayette.
Oh, let's check out everything now.
Of Kalaheo. She was driving on North Koloa Road when she crossed the center line and crashed into a nearby building. Pronounced dead at the scene. Police say alcohol is not suspected in this crash.
And Big Island police need your help tonight in finding this
Brownish particles.
16-year-old Daisha Carter.
You've collected a sample of that substance from the victim's ID card. Let's stick it under the microscope and see what it is. Quick.
Police are asking for anyone with information to please call 935-3311.
Back here in Honolulu, fire officials tell us an apartment fire was caused by a child playing with a lighter. The family of 5 escaped injury after a fire broke out inside their Malava apartment. It all began after 1 o'clock this afternoon. It's contained to a living room. The American Red Cross is now assisting the family.
Upon arrival, we saw some light smoke.
And upon getting closer, we saw that there were flames actually protruding from the windows and overlapping up to the second floor.
So, two people run out, a woman and a man, and someone crawled out the window.
The damage there estimated at $70,000.
All right, are you looking
Prince's dandruff. Uh-oh. According to the microscope report, that substance on the victim's ID card was dandruff from Prince Abiyoyi. Ugh, I'm glad you handled it rather than me, Matthew. When we first spoke to him, the prince was obviously too busy running away to mention that he knew his would-be assassin. He'll be forced to give us answers this time. Let's go talk to Prince Abiyoyi.
Energy company, which has served Hawaii since 2007.
I feel certainly for people, residents of the Big Island who are maybe in more rural areas who are working on off-the-grid projects. And
How he obtained the victim's ID? Your Highness, it's time you gave us answers. What were you doing with your would-be assassin's ID card? You never mentioned you knew Kayla. The person who tried to kill me was Kayla? So she was up to something. I knew it. I did meet the victim, but it was only once. Kayla and her boyfriend were at a fundraising yacht party when Willem and I attended. Said she was head of the yacht club. I didn't pay her much attention, but then I overheard Kayla trying to sweet-talk Willem into giving her the details of my schedule. Of course, he didn't fall for it. Instead, he stole her ID so we could run a profile on it. But then we lost it in Soweto before we could do anything with it. Okay, say we believe it, Your Highness. Why does Sombra want you dead? Forgive me, Ranger Matthew, but it's safer for me if I do not disclose more information than is necessary. I won't tell you a thing. We can't force you to talk, Your Highness, but we won't be able to protect you from Sombra if you keep refusing to cooperate.
In a period where the federal government again is returning authority to where it should be. The governor's blueprint is going to be built upon the voices of the people of Hawaii, which is a very powerful.
Okay, open locket. Finally, I can quit holding this tablet. Otherwise, maybe I should probably use my camera.
This is a great story here. Students with disabilities learning skills for success through a summer youth employment.
There we are.
Governor Ige today honoring interns with the Department of Labor and Industrial.
Hopefully Lars will shed some light on this weird powder you vacuumed up from the locket. Let's send it to him.
Innovation and Opportunity Act signed by President Obama. The act highlights the importance and need for work opportunities.
This is 9 hours, and I'll get the results tomorrow morning. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the white powder. I'll cut straight to the chase, Matthew. The powder you sent me is actually cocaine, and mixed in with it I found some tiny nasal hairs belonging to a certain Jacob Gilbert. So Jacob takes cocaine. I guess that's not a huge surprise. That doesn't link into Kayla's murder though, or to the shooting. Right, I knew that wouldn't be enough for you, so I decided to take a look at Jacob's medical records. Is digging into people's medical records legal? Well, I had a little help from Elliot, and it turns out that Jacob went to Indonesia for a few months a while back to go to rehab. Except I checked it out and there's no rehab center in Indonesia. But we do know what is there, a Sombra camp. We found it back when we investigated that Sombra recruit's murder. And hey, didn't Jacob mention he was an orphan, Matthew? That's it. What do you want to bet Jacob's another Sombra assassin? Let's go bust him. Also watching the Southwick National in the background. About his time in Indonesia. You again, Ranger Matthew. I was just about to enjoy a delicious milk turd. If you wouldn't mind giving me some peace. How about you tell us what you were doing in Indonesia now? Indonesia? I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. I only understand Afrikaans. You're speaking English right now. We know there's an illicit organization operating out there. Are you with them? An illicit organization? You mean like an underground club? I can't believe I wasn't invited. Stop playing dumb. We saw your medical records. They say you went to rehab, but there's no rehab center in Indonesia. Well, of course there's no registered rehab center. The paparazzi would be crawling all over it. I was at an exclusive establishment. You really think we're stupid? You better not be lying to us, Jacob. Otherwise, the next exclusive establishment you'll be visiting is prison. Matthew, the prince might be safe for now, but whoever tried to shoot him is still at large, and we don't even know if they're also our victim's killer. You're right, let's tackle one issue at a time. Figuring out who murdered Kayla might lead us to whoever is after the prince. And the best way to find Kayla's killer is to head back to the scene of the crime. Let's go.
Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. Kawasaki, the Kawasaki KX, the bike that builds champions.
Pineapple, dog. Bloody scarf.
Past the Fran Mechanics area. I like this view. Actually feel like you're riding. Scrub this jump. Now you come up to this part of the track. It's right by the pit area at the top of the hill. But this is new. Instead of going straight across, they put this horseshoe in there. We saw some line selection. Very tough to pass through there. And down here, this way, Tomac was unbelievably fast.
Bingo, Matthew. Look at those yachts on the scarf. This must be our victims. Let's get a sample of that blood. And I guess you can search for that Zulu basket if your ranger sense is tingling. We're getting closer to catching Kayla's killer, Matthew. I can feel it.
This has been here forever since Southwick, I think, was originated. This right and left, no matter which way you go. Long sweep right here. It's getting to the
Forgot to equip myself with the Dalmatian. I'm going to take care of the Zulu basket now.
And then make a left, and then great passing opportunity down here. Get a great drive. Get on the rear fender. Get on the gas.
A bloody club.
Boulevard, and then this kind of never-ending left.
You've done it again, Matthew. Who would have expected to find this bloody wooden club on that basket? Let's send it to Lars. Stat.
Take a right, then you'll hit the new finish line jump. Right in front of the control tower. This long sweeping left. That's it. Join the start straight. That's a lap here at Southwick.
Joey Savacci had points lead going into Redbud, and it looked like he might have had a shot at winning that race also, but then a pair of huge crashes.
9 hours. Bloody scarf now.
One huge crash cost him dearly. He was lucky to get up. Now, Link Pro is actually going to give us some analysis of his crash from last week.
This is pretty interesting. Second moto. Now watch Savacci come off the scrub, stays slow, trying to get around. I think that was map around. But watch Savacci lands at the base of the jump. So he jumped 102 feet, believe it or not. He probably wanted to jump 100. 19 foot off the drop, but then watch this bike just absolutely just snap under the brake.
Let's send that blood sample he collected from the victim's scarf to Lars.
At the
Stat.
fastest point of the track at 50 miles an hour. But what's crazy to me is he pulled over 17 G-forces.
15 hours. I'll see you guys for when this is done.
Pro track preview, we had
Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the bloody club. Bro, what can you tell us about that wooden club Matthew found at the crime scene? Well, thanks to Jonah talking my ear off for the past half hour, I can tell you that the club is actually known as a knob kiri, and it's a traditional Zulu weapon. Jonah talking your ear off? Yes, Jonah can be quite enthusiastic when you get him talking about weird weapons, but more importantly, the knob kiri, it had both blood and hair on it belonging to your victim. You're right, Matthew. Angela did say that our victim was knocked unconscious before she was lowered into the well. The killer must have used this knob thing. And that's not all. Among the blood and hair, there were some black fibers. And as your victim wasn't wearing any black, it must have come from our killer. So now we know that our killer wears black clothing to match their black heart, Matthew. Huh? That's exactly right. And the blood? Did you manage to find out anything about that blood Matthew collected from the victim's scarf, dude? I can tell you that your victim definitely put up a fight before her death. Because the sample you collected contained 2 different blood types. One is a match for your victim, but I also found minute traces of blood from a second individual. It wasn't enough to draw up a full DNA profile, but I can tell you this, their blood type is A negative. Our killer's blood type might be A negative, but I'm positive you'll soon have them in cuffs, Matthew. This is it, Matthew. You collected all the evidence you need to arrest Kayla Pieterse's killer. If we're lucky, they'll also be the one who tried to kill the prince. Grab your cuffs and let's go.
Now, come on, Ruth. Tomorrow's an outworking day.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Now, what's all this about the old new baby?
It's not Willem.
Wishes to see you again, Mr. Kennedy. The 18th back.
It is not Prince Abioi. It is Kwanele Mthembu.
He's a cop. Without leaving a mark.
Kwanele Mthembu, you're under arrest for the murder of Kayla Pieters. Why'd you do it? Because you resented her new life? Don't be ridiculous, Ranger Matthew. Things might not have worked out between us, but I would have never hurt Kayla. Then how come we found the note you wrote in Afrikaans luring Kayla to the village so you could kill her? Afrikaans is the 3rd most spoken language in South Africa. Anyone could have written that note. What about the traces of your milk turd Ranger Matthew found on the yacht rope you used to tie Kayla up? Who doesn't enjoy milk turd? And besides, I've only been yachting a handful of times. Cut it out, Kwanele. We found your blood on Kayla's scarf. You thought you could overpower her, but she put up a fight, didn't she? Alright, I admit it. I killed Kayla, but it wasn't because I resented her new lifestyle. It was because I wanted to join Sombra. What? You know about Sombra? So you did know about Kayla's secret life. After I returned her key, Kayla explained all about her double life. All those last-minute work trips she went on were actually missions for some super-secret organization called Sombra. And this Sombra even genetically enhanced her to be super intelligent. Naturally, I wanted in. I mean, who doesn't dream of being a super soldier? But Kayla said that I was too old to be recruited by Sombra. So I decided to show some initiative. Sombra believes that the weak die, Ranger Matthew. So what better way to impress them than by outsmarting one of their most intelligent recruits and completing her mission? So it was you who shot at Prince Abioi. Yes, and it would have been my ticket into Sombra if that stupid bodyguard hadn't gotten in the way. The only place you'll be getting a ticket into is jail, Kwanele. You're under arrest for the murder of Kayla Pieters. Mr. Mthembu, you stand accused of the murder of Kayla Pieters and the attempted murder of Prince Abioi. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor, but I had to do it so I could become a super soldier. A super soldier? Yes. I see here that you thought murdering your ex-girlfriend and assassinating her target would permit you to join Sombra. I hope you at least inquired about the benefits package before you went to such extreme lengths. Anyway, the only thing you'll be seeing now is a prison cell, because this court hereby sentences you to 30 years in prison for the murder of Kayla Pieters and the attempted murder of Prince Abioi. This is all Ranger Matthew's fault. If I'd managed to kill the prince, Sombra would have been forced to notice me. Congratulations on putting Kayla's killer behind bars, Matthew. It's good to see we can still get the bad guys despite having a traitor in our midst. Your work isn't finished, though. We haven't gone to the bottom of Prince Abioi's story. And if we're to protect him from Sombra, we're going to need to make him talk. It won't be easy to win the prince's trust, but if anyone can do it, it's you, Matthew.
I was energetic. Then the chronic widespread pain drained my energy. My doctor said moving more helps ease fibromyalgia pain. He also prescribed Lyrica.
Take a look at the other ones. Tim Basile was cleared early.
Lyrica is believed to calm
Jacob Gilbert, No black.
It can significantly relieve fibromyalgia pain and improve
Willem
function.
Nieuwoud.
So I feel better.
O negative blood. Prince Albioli clear from the start. I'll see you all for The Enemy Within 3-6. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start The Enemy Within 3-6. Congratulations on putting Kalis Killer behind bars, Matthew. There's a lot of mistrust among the team, knowing that there's a traitor within our ranks, but you got the job done. I know we all want to identify the mole as quickly as possible, but we have an even more pressing issue to address. We've got Prince Abiyoi in protective custody, and he still won't tell us why Sombra wants him dead. All we know is that he might be linked to Lavinia Debrill's missing diamonds. It'll be almost impossible to protect him without knowing Sombra's motivations. I think you and Jack should talk to his bodyguard again, Matthew. Now the dust has settled, he might have changed his mind about helping us. Before you go, Ranger Matthew, Marina also wants a word. You'll find her in her office. I do hope Marina doesn't want to gush about Jonah. I don't think I could stomach it. Wouldn't you rather talk to Willem before seeing what Marina wants, Matthew? Oh, sure. Let's do that first. Ranger Matthew, thank goodness you're here. I've been so worried about the prince. Is he okay? Prince Abiyoi is safe, for now, but we can't keep him in custody forever. Which is why we're here. We need you to tell us why Sombra wants the prince dead. Is it tied to Lavinia Debrill's missing diamonds? I'm sorry, Ranger Matthew. I meant what I said earlier. I operate on a need-to-know basis. I don't know anything about Sombra or Lavinia Debrill's. What I do know is that protecting the prince is my top priority. Now I'm out of action. Only you can do that. The prince and I were hiding at the yacht club. If you're going to find anything to help you, you'll find it there. And please take this money to keep him safe. We appreciate your help, Willem. Matthew, we're off to the yacht club. Nautical bag. You think you might find something in that bag, Matthew? Anything is worth a shot. Let's look through it. I'm only doing this first because I am very intrigued on what Marina needs our assistance for. A faded map. What was that map doing under the signal flags in that bag, Matthew? Good point. Last time we found a map of Africa, we discovered Sombra's plans. We better retrieve the faded info on this map. Prince Abiyoli's itinerary. Matthew, this map is Prince Abiyoli's itinerary. Look at all those crosses. He sure has been getting around. And with all these convenient dates, Sombra would have no trouble tracking him down. We better return this map to the prince. And let's give the map back. Prince Abiyoi, Ranger Matthew would like to return this map we found at the yacht club. You'd be in deep trouble if this fell into the wrong hands. My itinerary? I did not know it had been lost. Thank you, Ranger Matthew. How can I repay you? How about you start by telling us why Sombra's trying to assassinate you? Alright, I'm sorry for not being open with you earlier, but it's difficult to know who to trust. The truth is, I had to leave my country because Sombra, as you call them, have been smuggling diamonds through it. I spent years fighting to eliminate the illegal diamond trade. But Sombra fought back by threatening the good people of Mazunda. I'm prepared to risk my life for the cause, but I wouldn't put my people in harm's way, so I left Mazunda in order to protect them. I've been traveling around Africa ever since, raising awareness of smuggling. Okay, and what about Lavinia de Brilles? She seems to think you knew something about her missing diamonds. I suppose she simply wanted to seek my expertise, Ranger Matthew. Anyway, thank you for your hospitality, but I must continue fighting the good fight. Please take this as a sign of my appreciation. Zulu costume. Now let's see what Marina wants. Hey Matthew, I'm sorry to bother you at such a difficult time, but I was hoping you could do something for me. I've been looking into Jonah's background. Aha! So you think Jonah is the mole? You've been sleeping with the enemy. It's always the quiet ones. I have no doubts about Jonah's loyalty, Jack. Your desperation to cast suspicion on him, however, raises some questions. Never mind. What did you want, Marina? It turns out that Jonah spent part of his childhood in Soweto, and I like to see it for myself. Obviously, I can't tell him I've been snooping. So would you come with me, Matthew? I think you can handle Marina's relationship problems without me, Matthew. You guys head to Soweto. Ooh. I can't work out why Jonah didn't tell me he grew up here, Matthew. I know he's a private person, but we've been dating for a while now. What's that, Matthew? You found a phone? You're right, this is Jonah's. I remember him taking this phone. That's strange. Jonah must have been here recently. I feel bad about asking you to do this, but would you mind unlocking the phone for me, Matthew? What? He did look through my bag that one time, remember? He did look through my bag that one time, remember? This is no worse than that. Sure it is. You lie, Marina, you lie. I bet this is going to be the only one I'm going to wait on. Ah. Oh no! Oh, that was so pathetic. You've unlocked Jonah's phone, but the files are corrupted. I know Elliot's busy trying to fix the damage the mole did to Bob, but do you think he'd take a look at the phone if I asked nicely? So you'll just witness me level up? And I apologize about this, folks, but until my screen's resolution is fixed, I might be avoiding this computer, otherwise it could be time to trash this. This is a 4-year-old machine. Nine hours. I'll get the results tomorrow morning, and I'll see you all then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the cell phone. Matthew, don't you know how busy I am trying to fix Bob? I got better things to be doing than going through Jonah's selfies. Jonah takes selfies? Yeah, you should see the selfie he took with the puppy filter on SnapPics. In fact, all the files on his phone were photos. Nothing to incriminate him as the mole. But, and I can't believe I'm doing this, you might want to take a look at the last photo he took just yesterday. Who's that girl he's with? Tell me you checked her out in the database, Elliot. I want to know who she is and what she was doing with my boyfriend. I've helped you snoop enough, Marina. If you want answers, why don't you talk to Jonah? I need to focus on getting Bob back online. I'm sorry, Elliot. You're right, Matthew. Let's go ask Jonah who this woman is. About the woman in the photo? Marina, what a surprise! What are you and Matthew doing here, Butter Biscuit? Matthew found your phone in Soweto, Jonah. Who the heck is the girl in this photo? You went through my phone? Don't act like you never went through my stuff. Now tell me who this girl is. That was different. When I snooped, it was to find out what you liked, not to spy on you. A relationship is nothing without trust, Marina. When have I ever given you a reason to doubt me? How can I trust you when you share nothing with me? You never even told me about this girl. Invading my privacy isn't the solution, and if you think I'm going to encourage that kind of behavior by giving you information, you're wrong. Fine, I'll figure it out by myself. Come on, Matthew, I need a pick-me-up to calm me down. I can't believe Jonah won't tell me who that girl is. I mean, yes, I know, Matthew, I shouldn't have gone through his phone. Maybe I'm overreacting, but something's wrong, and I won't be able to put it out of my mind until I get to the bottom of this. That's it. The photo was obviously taken in Soweto. We need to head back there to find out more about this girl. Pretty obvious to see that my ranking has gone down a little bit. Torn paper. Umbrella, paper bag, clock, horn, fish, screwdriver, light bulb, mustache, sneaker, and ice cream. Perfect. Of course, I'm seen in second place on this leaderboard, but on Ace's video, I'm actually seen in third. Not that it matters, of course. You found some torn paper, Matthew? Are you sure it's not just trash? Well, if you got a hunch, let's put this paper back together. Of course, considering I am already over 40,000 energy strong and over 40,000 energy strong, perfect. I might hold off on an elite mode case until I'm definitely well into 40,000. These are tickets to bungee jump off the towers here in Soweto, Matthew. Look, this one is in Jonah's name. And this one is for a Lily Karam. That's the same last name as Jonah. What the heck, Matthew? Lily Karam? Surely that can't mean what I think it means. That Jonah's got a wife? Lady, I don't know who you are, but you're barking up the wrong tree. You're the woman in the picture. I'm not Jonah's wife, I'm his sister. Jonah has a sister? Well, this is embarrassing. Can we have a word, Miss Karam? So you're Jonah's sister? He never mentioned any siblings. Half-sister, same father, different mother. And you must be the girlfriend he's been raving about, Marina, right? He told you about me? Wouldn't shut up about you. I hadn't seen him in years and you were all he could talk about. He talked so much I didn't even manage to tell him about the rally race I've got coming up. It's gonna be rad. Anyway, it was nice to finally meet you, Ranger Matthew. I've got to get going though. I need to prepare for the race. See you around. It was a pleasure to have met you, Lily. I hope our paths cross again someday. Of course, under good circumstances. That was unexpected, Matthew. Who knew I'd meet Jonah's half-sister when we came to South Africa? I'm so embarrassed by my behavior. I'm not usually like that, I swear. I guess I care about Jonah even more than I thought. You do? What can I say? You've gone away with words. I'm so sorry for going behind your back, Jonah. I should have just spoken to you. And I'm sorry for not telling you about Lily. You know, I just find it hard to talk about my feelings and stuff. That's something we can work on. Matthew, we'll see you later. Don't finish anytime soon on my account. Matthew, you did an excellent job of winning Prince Abioi's trust. You're as professional as ever, despite our organization being compromised. There's nothing we can do for Prince Abioi now he's left custody, but at least you know why Sombra is targeting him. Yeah, he claims to be fighting to stop Sombra smuggling diamonds through Mazunda. The question is, do we believe him? And how does this tie in with Lavinia Debrill's missing diamonds? These diamonds are clearly at the heart of whatever Sombra's up to, but what do we do next? It's Tommy went deep into Debrill's. There's no better way of figuring out what Sombra's after than by following the diamonds. Matthew, pack your bags. We're going to the largest Debrill's mine in Africa. Of course, the 3 messages in there are 3 packs of Queen of Spades. And this will be July 12th. That's a Tuesday. So I'll see you guys then. Actually, before I go, I'm already up to 47 of the recycled stickers. I've heard that when it's up to 100, it's a full sticker pack. All stickers I haven't had before. Chapter 1, great. Hopefully I'll get all the cases, or all the stickers, excuse me. So I guess that's what happens. Lucky thing I decided to continue on with this. Okay. I'll see you guys for case 40 when it's released. And we're actually almost done with Elite Mode, or excuse me, this. We're actually almost done with this whole one altogether. We only have 17 more cases. 16 when Tuesday comes around. But there's a look at all my Elite Mode rings. And I'll see you guys next time.